What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. So today, in the world of indie games, it's been about 6 months since we checked out Kainga, and it's had a ton of updates, so I figured we'd dive on into it. What is Kainga, if you've never seen it before? This is a procedural roguelike colony survival game where you take part in little 35-minute challenges, building a colony up, competing with other rivals, and attempting to accomplish goals in order to unlock meta currency, which then allows you to unlock new characters, and it allows you to unlock new buildings, and you never quite know, like, variability is kind of the name of the game when it comes to Kainga. You never quite know exactly what technologies and things you're going to be able to unlock on every single playthrough, and that leads to every single game feeling kind of exciting and varied, and, you know, it's entirely possible that you'll end up with an entire society that looks like it's modeled after Indian buildings, or like Japanese buildings, or like tribal buildings. It's a really, really cool game. I like it a lot. So we're going to dive back on in and take a look at some of the new stuff and some of the polish that's taken place while we've been playing the game, or while we've been waiting on the game to develop. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, you can also take a look down there to find my Discord and my Twitch stream, because there's a pretty good chance on the day that this video goes live that I'll probably stream it for about 4 hours, because it's a lot of fun. There's a bunch of different guys down here. These are different playable characters. For right now, I have Sumac. You'll have to forgive me, but all of my progress in this game was on a different computer that's no longer inside my office. And so, unfortunately, I had to start over from scratch. And I've won a couple of games so far, but I haven't unlocked all the other thinkers just yet. That's probably something we'll set ourselves to on stream. But anyways, this is where you use Karma, which is the metagame currency, in order to get new stuff. Over here is where you can track what buildings you've unlocked. Over here, I really, really like how the game's menu is actually interactive and you, like, walk around, but this is technically, like, a menu for, like, RimWorld or whatever. This one over here, I don't remember what it does, and this one takes you out to the game world so that you can actually play and take part in a match. I haven't unlocked any of the characters, but I do have myself fast-tracked to unlock the first one right now, and I've already beaten the first challenge or two. So, let's take a look and get started. So in order to unlock the next green guy, we've got to do a couple of these missions on in here. We've got some in the flatlands, and we've got some in the terraces. And so for right now, we can go for the terraces. The terrace is a little bit more difficult than the previous map, the flatlands. It's got like a lot of elevated positions that can make things complicated for building, and then of course the game is procedural, so you never know exactly what the lay of the land is going to look like, and it's really easy to get sandwiched in between like factions and just get dominated. There is warfare in this game, but in general, warfare is kind of like not the point of this game. Like, warfare is how you slow down your opponent from completing his cultural victory while you try to complete yours, but ultimately winning the cultural victory is the point in this game, even though you may slaughter people along the way. For this challenge, we've got to build a banner stadium, and then we've got to have a ritual around the banner stadium. I think we could probably do that. I think that's probably workable. Let's go ahead and embark, and we'll kind of see how this goes. It's one of the 3 challenges that I need to complete to unlock the next warlord, so that's what I'll do. Alright, so let's have a little look-see around the map now that we are in Kainga. And the first thing that I like to do is identify where my opponents are at. Because if we're in too close a proximity to them, I tend to kind of like move around a little bit in order to protect myself. So they've got fishing towers over there. There's one rival tribe right there all the way on the opposite end, so we don't really need to worry about them. And then the other tribe, actually, they're right on top of each other, so hopefully they'll bother each other a lot more than they bother us. So for the case of establishing our town, we want to be mindful of what resources are around. The starting resources in this game are very, very important. And so you kind of want to make sure that you've got like a nice selection of things to help you get your initial build-up going. I think I see a spot that I like, so I'm going to put it right there. We can only gather materials that are inside the radius of that influence circle. Once we get started, we can't expand and take further territory later on. But for right now, we kind of want to look and see what we have around. So at the moment, we don't have any clay, but we do have wood, we do have bamboo, and we do have reeds. And that's going to be important because this game focuses on the concept of ideas. So this guy right here in the top left-hand corner is our thinker. If he dies, we lose. That's actually one of the hard lose criteria. You don't want your thinker to die. And what our thinker is going to do is throughout the course of the game, he's going to have ideas when he stands at certain spots and looks at certain things in nature. And those ideas are going to fill out this little technology track down here, randomly generated. And you've got to come up with a strategy, basically, of things that synergize to get you to the final goal, which is building that curtain terrace and then having a ritual around it. So because we know that we have reeds and we have wood and we have bamboo, we kind of want our first building, which is this one right here that we're about to unlock, to use those materials. Otherwise, it's very, very easy to kind of like soft lock yourself and lose the match. So let's take a look here. We've got log tents. Log tents make all of our warriors stronger, but they can't have attachments on them. Okay. We've got the clay tower house. That uses clay, so obviously we can't really use that. This one has living walls. If we build this on a green tile, it will give us free bamboo. I like that. Let's do the sprout house. I've never used the sprout house before, and so I kind of like the idea of the sprout house. The game's pause is a little bit wonky. It's very, very buggy, so use it kind of sparingly. Otherwise, you're going to regret it. So we've started out with 4 braves in our village. The first thing I'd like to do... Oop, I used the pause menu again. The first thing that I would like to do is basically get 2 farms up and running so that we have lots of food. And so 2 of my braves are going to set themselves to task doing that. The other thing I'd like to do is I don't really care if we get the bamboo off this initial couple houses. And so I'll build a house over here. I'll build a house like kind of over here. And then we'll just kind of let it run for a second while we get some new technologies with our thinker. So there's a gathering technology up there. There's a transit opportunity right there. There's a gathering. Let's go get that gathering right there. That gathering looks good to me. We're obviously going to want to unlock bridges at some point so that we can move throughout our little tribal kingdom a little bit easier. But we can get the bridges later. They're not, like, vital to our survival at this given moment. When you arrive at a thinking point, your thinker is going to hang out there until this meter fills up. And once it does, he's going to get a little exclamation point above his head, which means that he's figured out how this all works. And so he will come up with a new idea. And there it is right there. It's going to pop for us. So our first gathering idea, we can get a trade table, we can get a lotus pond, or we can get a storage. The lotus pond actually directly goes into our strategy for right now, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to deploy it properly. We can re-roll these choices for karma later on in the game, but with this first one, they kind of give you a freebie right here. So we can get a canvas press, we can get a trade table, or we can get a reed field. Okay. I don't really need any of this stuff. None of these excite me, and we don't really have clay. I guess I could get clay later on, so we'll take the canvas press, because the canvas press is going to be kind of vital to us winning, because we've got to build a thing that uses a lot of cloth. But until we find actually an area with clay and we claim it, there we go. We're probably going to have to claim this down here, would be my thought. There's a bunch of clay down here. There's also some clay down there. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll build a flag down here. And we'll get the clay down there just to make sure that we have that resource. It's going to be a long-term goal. Right now, our thinker is researching our first festival. Festivals are effectively rituals that have kind of resounding effects on the game. They do all kinds of stuff. They can tame animals. They can cause thunderstorms. They can make all of your harvest grow instantly. They can do a bunch of stuff. All right, so there's the banner stadium. We need that to win, so we obviously have to take that, so we will. We have another opportunity, in fact, 3 more opportunities to get that later on in the game, but I'm going to grab it first. I'm going to see if I can get this bridge over here, because that seems like a pretty good idea. He's going to go up the little ramp, and he's going to get it done. Our first house is built. Our second house is built. Now, the way your population grows in this game is that, oh, we needed clay in order to build the patty. Gotcha. So we're going to have a little bit of travel time in front of us before we can get stuff off the patty. All right. Well, one of you little villagers, come down here and build this flag so that we now have access to clay. That's a little bit further out than I would like it to be, but with this map, there was just kind of no way to get all the resources. And so I feel like having one resource that's a bit of the odd man out is much, much better than having 3 or 4 resources that are the odd man out. We have another inspiration over here. We can learn to climb ladders. We can make stilt pads. And then we can do an overhang if we wanted to. I'm going to take the ladder because that's going to allow me to gain access to these upper areas, which I think is going to be a really good idea. And so have we claimed this territory down here? He's still working on it. Okay. I would like you to make a bamboo ladder that maybe goes up, like, over here. Just to make travel times a little bit quicker, possibly. There we go. We'll get the bamboo ladder right there. I don't know if we have bamboo inside that radius, but I am going to assign him to work on it. There we go. Now they're grabbing clay so that we can start our food supply. So the basic way that your population growth works in this game, I got sidetracked while I was talking about it, is that basically your little guys will deliver food to a building, and when they deliver food to a building, it will spawn a new villager. That's all you really needed to know. Yeah, we'll accept that. So he's got a demand for us right now. Periodically, the neighboring tribes are going to deliver demands of you, and if you don't deliver on those demands, they're going to send out a big raid to attack you. It can be problematic, but I think we've got time to get it done because we just had a guy start a patty, and that should produce 4 food by the time that gets done. Now, there is a cool effect here. If we fulfill the thing that they are demanding from us, our reputation with them will go up, which means that they will no longer demand things from us. And so it becomes a situation where we can kind of either directly go to war right now at the beginning of the game when we only have 4 or 5 guys, which is obviously going to result in us being casualties, or we can just kind of give him what he wants, and he kind of goes away on his own once you do that. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is that clay right there? You guys should definitely deliver some more clay to this little guy right here. Yeah, build that. There you go. Grab that clay right there. Put it all together. I'd like to have 2 rice patties going before too long. And so there we go. We have 2 patties that are all good and ready to go. Any notification that you get is going to be listed on this left-hand side. And so if you miss anything, don't worry about it too much. The game does a pretty good job of letting you know, like, exactly what's going on. We can't actually get to the bamboo right there. Sort of a bummer. I do wish that you could upgrade these flags and you could upgrade your campfire with resources in order to make your influence circle larger. But, like, I get why. It doesn't really matter. You can kind of place as many claim flags as you want. I'm going to go ahead and get this food technology over here. And then I'd also like to build a ladder up to that next area if we could. Our first harvest came in, so as you can see, this little guy right here is capitulating, and he's bringing the food on over to the delivery source. And so he'll go away, and we'll get a bunch of reputation with the neighboring tribe, and hopefully they'll leave us alone. So there it is. He's taking back one of the foods, we'll drop off the other one, and then we'll be good to go. With our inspiration, we can get a bakery, we can get crop rows, or we can get a chef's walk. I don't want any of these, actually, because we already have a good food source, so I'm going to reject it in exchange for a passive. Passives will allow you to have chimneys, or they'll allow you to build buildings faster, or they'll allow you to tame animals, or they'll give you, like, a bracer that makes your archers hit better. And it does come with a graphical upgrade, in case you were wondering. I'm going to take chimneys, because all of our houses are really flammable. So as you can see, a little chimney has been added to each of the houses now. Chimney nominally lowers the chance that things are going to catch on fire. And since we live in what is effectively a flammable hellhole over here, I would rather not take that chance. So we've delivered what they wanted right there, which is great. Hopefully somebody will get the bamboo ladder done soon. I'd probably recommend we get another house done. What is this guy doing over here? Is he doing anything? Where's our 4th villager? So we have 2 guys working the farms right there. Actually, I think they're inside the huts right now making a new villager. Yep, in this game there's no, like, women. The dudes just go into a hut and then spontaneously just, like, crap out a baby. I don't really know the physics of the whole thing. I don't know exactly how it works, but we should start to see our population grow pretty rapidly from here on out. I think I'll probably build a few more houses around here just to get us settled in, and I'm going to try to do it in areas that are less flammable than others because we don't have an anti-fire resource right now. And so until we have that, it's kind of risky for us. That's why I took chimneys, is because we haven't discovered, like, a well, or we haven't discovered, like, there's like a Zayuf or something like that like, scoops water out of lakes, and we just don't have any of that stuff at the moment. What we also don't have is a lot of technologies around, which is becoming a little bit worrisome. Now that our population's growing, things are going to go a little bit faster. I've got a few more houses in, our food supply is looking great, and so we need to get up to, I think, like 20 or 30 villagers in order to do the canvas ritual. And so we'll try to get there. Did anybody build that ladder over there, or did that just, like, never happen? Let me grab a villager if everybody's not working, and kind of put them on it. You come over here and build this ladder because ultimately we're going to need this technology over here. There he goes. All right, he delivered the bamboo. So now we should be able to get our thinker up there and get another resource technology. And then from there, all the technologies we're going to be able to get our hands on are kind of like further out. I do want that warfare technology right there, so I'm definitely going to take that. We'll put in another ladder right there. And is that ladder done? That ladder is indeedly doodly done. All right, come up here and get the resource gathering idea. Oh no, dude, the rainstorm wiped out our house. Yeah, our houses collapse in the rain. We don't have, like, the best houses. And so, unfortunately, when these little weather events come through, it can be an issue. Later on, you can get, like, magical god powers to shoot, like, death lasers that kill all the clouds and everything. But for right now, we don't really have that available to us. They will go through and spend resources to repair all this stuff, so don't stress about it too much. We got reed fields or storage. I guess I'll get the storage building. We can. I think it's a good idea to have like a granary or whatever, just to make things a little bit cleaner. All right, things are coming together pretty nicely for our little village. I need a few more houses. I don't think that that's going to be avoidable. We can turn reeds into cloth, which I think we're going to need a lot of in order to do this thing. So yeah, we need 5 of it. So that's going to be a thing that we need to assign somebody to work on. However, we need to find a spot where it actually sits. Oh, is it an attachment on a house? Is that what it is? It is indeed an attachment on a house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to claim this land up here. And somebody will go up and grab that as soon as they get done building the granary and this extra house. Because we have such a good food supply, like we are killing it right now on growing our population, which is usually the hardest stopgap. We've also unlocked a new festival, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that very quickly as well. Ladder's not done on that side, but I would like a military technology just in case things go sour with the neighbors and they decide that they don't like us for whatever reason. Yeah, as you can see, these guys are much better established than we are. But then again, they start out with a fully built city, and so they don't really have to play the exact same game that you're playing. We can get a feast, a bonfire, or a snail. Probably take the Festival of Abundance. That sounds good. Every festival that you enact gives you meta currency, because those are kind of like long-term goals. And so, like, every single festival you can light off before you win the game is ultimately going to allow you to buy more buildings, which then make future runs a little bit simpler, so on and so forth. So I'm going to do my best there. There we go. Get that sprout house finished. Get that thing knocked out, dude. Oh, did our entire our entire field got wiped out by the storm. I didn't even realize. Okay. Yeah, well, give me another one, I guess. We got another storm headed right for us. It's about to wipe out our property again. Rip. Oh, it changed directions. Nice. Okay, well, somebody must be looking out for us up on their deity-style cloud. Yep. Apparently one of the gods answered our prayers and protected us from getting annihilated. As soon as he gets that rally flag up, we'll control this area. And then I can start thinking about building one of these bad boys right here. I guess I didn't need to do that. It looks like I can fit one in like over there too. And right there, but it'll block the walkway right there. Yeah, we'll just do it up here at the top. It's fine. It's no big deal. We may have to manually assign somebody to go work on it. Sometimes it can be a little hit or miss getting your guys to go do stuff they're supposed to do. I'm also going to send somebody down here to claim this little area right here with all of its bamboo because we're going to need it. And then did anybody build a ladder over here? Dude, go build that ladder. I want that military technology. For some reason, they seem to ignore building bridges and ladders for me whenever I play. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a problem for everybody, but it's definitely a problem I run into where I'm just like, bro, build the ladder. I need the ladder right now. I'll actually probably put in another one over here, too. There we go. Get those all ready to rock. And this thing requires just reeds? Okay, cool, man. We're making canvas out of reeds. Love it. Let's say, I don't know if you guys want to, like, there we go, drop that off right there, and now the ladder's up and built. Let's send our thinker over here. Another mechanic you need to be abundantly aware of is that there's something called the ante. So basically, the longer it takes you to win, the more harsh and the more terrible the map gets. There's going to be a lot more storm events, there's going to be a lot more issues, there's going to be a lot more problems, and so really, you should have, like, an idea of how you want to win before you get there. Let's see. I need this guy right here. There we go. And we'll slap that onto the back of that building, and that'll be magnificent. And then I think we're good to go. We should be able to start manufacturing mad cloth. One more building means that our population can grow a little bit further, and then we'll be done with the mission. We can get I would take a barracks right now, just so we can start training warriors. We do have a lot of extra space over here, and so I don't think a barracks is a bad idea. Just to make sure that, like, we can take a couple of these generic braves, send them into the barracks, and they'll come out with scimitars and shields, and they'll, like, fight, basically, and they have way better attack power than your normal braves. For the most part, automation seems to work really, really well in this game. In general, it seems like your braves that are idle actively seek out to, like, solve problems, like buildings that are half constructed or, like, put out fires or whatever else. I haven't really been that frustrated with the AI so far. Like, if they haven't gotten to it yet, it's usually because iteratively it hasn't, like, gotten to it on the list just yet. And so, like, by and large, I don't think I've actually ever hit a point in the large amount of hours that I've played this game at this point that I was like, why won't you do this thing? And even when they won't do a thing, all you got to do is take a guy and click on the thing you want him to work on, and he'll just go over there and do it like RimWorld style. And so it's not really that big of a problem. They want 2 wood and a grain. All right, we'll send that over there. That's no skin off my nose. That's perfectly fine. We're not done militarizing yet anyways, so... Hey, there we go. Our loom is up and running. Good. We'll have somebody work on the loom. I'm going to start training warriors just in case we don't deliver these resources in time. It feels like there's a solid chance that we may not get it there in time. And we've got a torrential downpour coming. What the hell is that thing? Oh, it's the trader. Okay. It's the trader. We're all right. The trader comes by every now and again and allows you to swap out your resources for other things you might want if you've got way too many of one thing and you need some of the other. We don't really need this guy. He's not that important, so I'm not going to stress about it. I'm going to wait and see. How long is it going to take you to produce some of that? Hey, we got our 3 cloth out right there. Good. We need 5 in order to get this monstrosity built, but we should be ready to win. So we just need to build this thing, and then we need to host the festival. This has honestly been a pretty peaceful game just because it was easy to keep the enemy's demands taken care of. Like, sometimes you get a round where the enemy has demands, and it'll be for, like, fabric or something that you haven't even set up the production line on yet, and that's where it gets hairy, because then you get hit with, like, an early game war, and it weakens both of you. And so, as you can see, we have warriors down here, by the way. Extra guys are going, and they're getting trained inside the barracks to become warriors. That's pretty much exactly what's happening. And so you end up with guys that have little swords and stuff and are way better at fighting than just the normal braves. The demands have been met. That's good. How's our reputation looking with that faction? Not too bad. I mean, these guys are not happy with us right now, but I think we should have time to complete. Hey, there it is. And now all we have to do is host the festival. Get down, boys. It's time to boogie. Yup, everybody get on over here. It's time to do crazy fabric dance. We worship the fabric. Ooh, Velveteen, you are my favorite fabric. Velveteen, yeah, thank you for your blessings. Are those guys fighting to the death in the middle? Yes. Yes, they are. That's a very, very good observation. Ooh, it looks like there's going to be some kind of volcanism coming. It's a good thing that we completed the game when we did. I probably should have done the other food festival first. But, like, I just kind of wanted to get that W, you know what I mean? I just wanted to win. Man, they are killing the hell out of each other right now. It's a good thing this is a victory condition because our military and militia are going to be seriously depleted after this gets done. Like, who's the last man standing going to be? Who's our ultimo hombre? Hey, we won. Nice. So that's going to give us 3 karma right there. And then on top of that, it also allowed us to advance our unlocks. And so the karma can be spent on new buildings. And then that mission we did right there was part of the mission chain to unlock this little guy right here with the, I don't even know what that thing is called. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what that thing is that he's got on his back that makes him look like he has like a peacock butt. I have no idea what that is. But anyways, if we do one more mission, we unlock this guy as a warlord, and he's got different bonuses from the guy that we're playing as. And so as you can see, I think really variability and replayability are what this game is doing, and it's what this game is doing well. I do like this Vrisk house right here. That's a cool idea. Like a house that dangles off the edge of a cliff and you climb down in through the top of it. It's like a big pot that you live inside of, like Diogenes. I like it. It looks like we have to do the frill barge, a large reed sailboat to rescue a thinker. So we got to put it on water. Okay, so we'll probably want to settle kind of like coastal for this one if we wanted to make it work well. Yeah, I think we could probably do that. Let's get on in there. We'll see what the map has for us. Like, there's no way to tell. I love the smoothness of that loading screen right there. It's a really well-designed loading screen. Let's see. We've got an enemy village right there. We've got access to water right there. We've got access to water down here. We can sort of forego bamboo. That puts us in close proximity, though. We got the high spawn on this one, and since it's a water challenge, that kind of sucks. I think... Oh, all the enemy nations are along the water. There's not going to be a lot of effective ways to get this done with the map that we drew. I may have to re-roll it. We can settle down in here, but that's basically just accepting that you're never going to have bamboo. So, like, while it's doable, it's not ideal. Let's just go for it. We can spend time complaining, or we can get, spend time getting busy. And I think I'd rather spend time getting busy. That does give us access over here to things like, we've got clay, we've got reeds, we've got wood. So realistically, we should be able to get some kind of food production up and running pretty quickly and some kind of buildings built pretty quickly. But we are sandwiched in between hostile tribes that are going to attack us on sight. So I think that for the case of like the prevailing meta of what we want to accomplish on this map, we're going to be a little bit pressed. It's going to be hard for us to get new technologies because we're constantly ducking patrols and getting murdered. All right, so we can get an embedded home. That just takes clay. And it looks like if built inside of a cliff, the Braves will spawn holding a unit of clay. We can get clay huts over here. So it looks like the first Brave doesn't need food and then no attachments. That's really good for population growth. We kind of want something that's strong against rain, though. And unfortunately, we didn't get anything that's strong against rain. Thatched huts would work. We can't have attachments, though, if we do that. But then again, we don't really need attachments because we're building a boat. So I think we're probably okay. This is a thatched house with a hook that can catch a fish when you put it near water or produce Braves as normal on land. I like the idea of that. That's pretty cool. Sturdy Tower House uses stuff that we already have too. Let's do the fisherman's house, dude. I like the idea of the fisherman's house. And then my next goal will be to claim this land down here along the edge. Yeah, we'll put that right there. And somebody will go around and set that up, and then it'll be okay. And then what we'll do is we'll get some farms. We'll use this upper area as like our principal farming area. God, that selection bug right there is super annoying with the pause. Like, I know the pause is a new addition that they've added in the early access, and it's not fully bug fixed. Like, when you pause, it says work in progress, still has problems. But still, I keep tripping over it because I am a pauseaholic in games like this. Like, I pause so much more than your average player. I just constantly pause and think about things. Let's go ahead and we'll unlock this gathering technology right here. We do want to grab a bridge technology, so I think we'll probably grab that at some point too. Like if it's something like ladders, I think that'll be really helpful. They should come down here and get clay in order to build this up. There's our first idea. So we can get a demand table, we can get a clay pit, or we can get a storage. Clay pit's good. I'll take clay pit. Clay pit can basically be placed like wherever. There we go. We'll put the clay pit down there, and hopefully we'll unlock a ladder so that they don't have to go all the way around the horn when we can build our own personal altitudinal Panama Canal right here later on. But for the moment, it's not going to be feasible. It'll be a little bit inefficient, but it'll get better. All right, so our first technology. I don't really want the frill barge just yet. We can do the frill barge later. Oh, we only need 10 population? Interesting. That's actually pretty easy to piece together. It's not that hard to do. Let's just do it. We're going to have to isolate a source of fabric before too long. But, like, not that bad. Not that bad. Let's go ahead and put some of these fishy boy houses down here. Is the fisherman's hook, like, on the front? It looks like it is. So we'll put a fisherman right there. We'll put a fisherman right there. We'll kind of just sprinkle fishermen all over the place that can make use of this land. And then this functions as a normal house if you don't have any fishermen to go with. And so that's fine by me, too. Looks like we can fit one in right there. Good. And then I'll just kind of leave that area. What do these cost me? It cost me a wood, it cost me a reed, and it cost me a mud. You're good, dude. That's easy peasy. It might tap into our wood a little bit heavier than I would like, but it should be fine as time goes along. The other part is that this place is not super tactically defendable because the enemy can only attack one half of our town at a time, which means like half of our population is going to be on one side, half's going to be on the other side at any given moment. So that kind of worries me. I'm also worried why he went all the way down there to chop that tree when there was like 6 trees right here. Dude, are you okay? Are you all right? Did you hit your head or something? If you hit your head, it's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you, but, like, that tree was a long ways away compared to these other trees over here. But, yeah, this is Kainga. I like this game a lot. This is actually one of those games that I put a bunch of hours into, and I really, really enjoy it. I lost my progress due to upgrading a computer and losing the computer that I've been playing on. But, yeah, this is Kainga. Thank you for stopping on by. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I will see you all next time with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. If you don't know who I am and what I do, my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. That includes new games and also checkups on early access titles every 6 months or so. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for hanging out, and it's time for me to go. Bye-bye, everybody.